Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duggar For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The sun was setting in a bright blaze over the peaceful Arkansas town when Maddie noticed her reflection in the window. Her cheeks retained a slight spark of eagerness. It had been a grueling few years, but now, on the verge of a new chapter, she felt hopeful, something she hadn't allowed herself in a long time. Jason went into the room, his expression softening when he spotted her standing there. "Hey," he whispered softly, placing his arms around her waist. "How are you feeling?" She offered him a faint smile. "I'm still processing," she mumbled, putting her head on his chest. After 2 years of trying, she became pregnant. They had hoped and prayed for this day, and it had finally arrived. They'd been on a private roller coaster to get to this point. Jason's family had certain expectations, which Maddie did not always meet. She was from a little Missouri town and had grown up in a family that was very different from Jason's strict, conservative upbringing. Maddie could tell his family didn't trust her right away. Nonetheless, Jason stood by her, shielding their relationship from the strains of the Duggar name. The couple kept the pregnancy a secret for the first 12 weeks. At 4 months along, they were ready to share their delight with the world, beginning with Jason's family. Maddie couldn't help but feel anxious as she anticipated their reactions, but she forced the notion away. This was her moment, too, and she wanted it to be memorable. Jason took out his phone. "Are you ready for the big announcement?" She hesitated and chewed her lip. "Are you sure about this?" He clasped her hand reassuringly. "Whatever happens, Maddie, I'll be here for you. This is our moment." She took a big breath and nodded. Jason pressed record on his phone, the small red light glowing as he held it up for the video announcement. His voice was pleasant and steady. "We have some big news to share with you all," he told us. "Maddie and I are thrilled to announce, we're having a baby." Maddie's face softened, her grin real, as she repeated his words, "We're having a baby." Within minutes, the footage was online. They readied themselves for the outpouring of emotions that would ensue. By the next morning, Maddie's phone was inundated with messages, and Jason's family group chat was buzzing. Congratulations from friends, loving greetings from her own family, but also some awkward silence from some Duggar family members. Maddie prepared herself when Jason's sister, Jessa, called. The conversation began cheerfully, but the underlying tension was clear. "We're so happy for you both," Jessa remarked, her voice pleasant but clipped. "It's excellent news, and I'm sure Mom and Dad will be thrilled. But, are you ready for this?" Maddie felt the inquiry penetrate deeply. "Of course," she said, attempting to keep her tone light. "We've been ready for a long time." Jason's face sank when he overheard the talk. After Maddie hung up, he sat next to her and took her hand. "I wish they could just be happy for us," he said, frustration in his eyes. "I hate that they always question you." Maddie squeezed his hand. "It's okay," she murmured, attempting to soothe him rather than herself. "Let's just focus on us." But that night, they discovered that the internet had other intentions. Their declaration had been picked up by the media, and Jason and Maddie's private moment became public news. It sparked renewed curiosity in Jason's past, including allegations about a terrible family secret. Days stretched into weeks, and the media frenzy only intensified. Gossip columns pumped up article after story, painting Jason and Maddie's pregnancy as a scandal. Headlines ranged from curious to harsh, portraying Maddie as an outsider, the rebellious wife, and implying schisms within the Duggar family. Jason's phone rang one evening when they were going through baby things given by Maddie's sister. It was his dad. "Jason, I need to talk to you about what's going on," his father replied, his tone stern. This media circus is out of control. We need to get a handle on it before it harms the family. Jason took a deep breath, suppressing his fury. Dad, we did not seek for this attention. We simply wanted to share our news. His father's voice hardened. That isn't how this family does things. You should have contacted us first. We could have controlled the story and protected you both. Protected us? Jason responded, his irritation finally boiling over. Maybe you should stop trying to control everything, Dad. This is my life right now. Maddie and I are having a baby, and we do not require approval. After a lengthy pause, his father responded, Well, son, if that's how you feel, I suppose we'll leave you to your own devices. Jason hung up, feeling a weight on his shoulders. The familial acceptance he needed was further away than ever, and Maddie could see the strain in his eyes. She threw her arms around him, offering gentle support as he reflected on the widening distance between him and the family he once idolized. With the familial schism increasing, Maddie and Jason attempted to focus on the future, preparing for the birth of their child. But public scrutiny has taken a toll. Rumors regarding Jason's involvement in a juvenile accident resurfaced, spreading through media sources and online forums, altering the reality. Jason had been in a car accident that damaged a close friend, something he rarely talked about. His parents had insisted on keeping the circumstances private to protect him from public scrutiny. Now, the secrets he'd suppressed threatened to eclipse the life he was attempting to build with Maddie. One night, Maddie came upon a blog article that detailed the rumors. As she read, she felt betrayed. Jason had never told her the whole story, and the media's half-truths made her wonder how much she actually knew about him. She faced him, the pain in her voice obvious. Jason, why haven't you told me? I assumed we had no secrets between us. Jason looked down, remorse pinching his face. I was terrified, Maddie. I'm afraid of what you'll think, and what it will imply if I bring up the past. I wanted us to start fresh, to keep you away from all of that. Maddie shook her head, and her voice cracked. But we can't build a future on secrets. They spent the night talking through tears, pulling back layers of the past that Jason had worked so hard to conceal. By morning, they were fatigued but closer, united by a terrible honesty that allowed them to start over. As Maddie neared her third trimester, a complication developed. A regular checkup indicated significant health hazards to both her and the baby. Doctors encouraged Maddie to take it easy and minimize stress, but the pressures of family discord and public attention were too much. One afternoon, following another painful phone contact with Jason's family, Maddie felt a searing pang. They went to the hospital, but hours later, the doctors brought devastating news: the baby had died. In the days that followed, Jason and Maddie remained silent in their grief. Their family's ideal had been broken, leaving them distraught. Jason and Maddie gradually discovered a path ahead through counseling and assistance. They decided to honor their child's memory by establishing a foundation for other families who had suffered similar losses, transforming their grief into something useful.